Well, meantime, President Donald Trump is holding a series of meetings today.
Earlier, as we mentioned, he sat down with a group of sheriffs during the meeting. He vowed to fight the court order on his travel ban, saying we have to have security. Joining us now is Politico White House correspondent Eli Stokols. So, Eli, the president and the White House are focusing on security. They've even accused the media of not reporting on terror attacks, and they've released a list of attacks they claim went underreported. The list was full of typos. Here at CBS, we covered more than 74% of them, as did other news organizations. What do you make of this strategy?
They're flailing. They're flailing for anything to grab onto to justify what they're doing and to shift the blame elsewhere to the media. Remember, Kellyanne Conway last week just invented a massacre out of thin air, the Bowling Green massacre, saying that the media didn't cover it, and that massacre, which didn't exist, was one of the reasons why this ban had to be in place. So it just sort of lays bare one of the things about this White House, which is that there's not a lot of preparedness, or when there's not a lot of legal, foundation for something, they're going to do it anyway, and they're just going to try to, distract you with a bunch of dizzying lies. It's really remarkable. It's also remarkable that as they've sort of, fought this in the public relations arena, in the, realm of public opinion, they have not just blamed the media, but, Donald Trump himself via Twitter has attacked the judge, the Washington judge who first issued the nationwide stay on this, giving rise to questions about his respect for an independent judiciary generally. And that coming just as, we're gearing up for a confirmation battle over a possible Supreme Court justice. So a lot of sort of head scratchers here coming from the White House. You also heard just yesterday, over the last couple of days, Trump also via Twitter, really trying to shift the blame, getting back to that security argument, saying that, in the event of the next terror attack, he's basically saying this won't be on me, this will be on the judge, this will be on the media, this will be on everyone who got in my way, as he's trying to sort of say, I want to make us safe, never mind the constitutional problems, etc. And that is an argument that, may be sort of thinly rationalized, but it may carry some weight with, the general public, certainly at least with Trump voters, in terms, people who, see a president who is just trying to do whatever it takes to make the country safe.
Eli, how unusual is it to see this sort of legal battle play out so early on in an administration? Do you think they went about this the right way?
I mean, the how unusual, that's like how every question about the Trump administration tends to start. I mean, that's where we're at right now. I mean, this is unusual, but everything is unusual about this. You heard, the DHS Secretary Kelly this morning on Capitol Hill saying, look, this is on me. I should have slowed this thing down, really trying to give some cover to the White House. But, it's an open question how much advance notice Kelly even had. But this thing was going through, and I think, they really did, as a political strategy, want to come in those first couple weeks and really just overwhelm the system with executive orders and demonstrate that, hey, we're moving on this stuff, we're going to make change, and we're going to not waste any time doing it.
But do you think that backfired, Eli?
Clearly it backfired in this case. They were not prepared. They were caught off guard when the first judge in New York on that Saturday night when there were protests at JFK, they were caught off guard by that initial stay of this order. They had not even thought about, what is this thing legally sound, and is it going to hold up in court? They were not prepared for this legal fight.
And Eli, you've written about mixed reactions to this ban on the Hill. You say that the White House is trying to rehabilitate its outreach there. What more can you tell us?
Well, look, there's been this sort of, fragile honeymoon period where Republicans on the Hill do want to work with this Republican administration down the street at the White House. And so there's not been an eagerness to, pick fights, poke the new administration in the eye. You see that with the confirmation of Betsy DeVos just a little short while ago, in spite of obvious, issues about her, understanding of basic educational issues. And so you see Republicans, by and large, wanting to work with this White House, but there are some strains. Kellyanne Conway, Boris Epshteyn from the White House went over to the Hill yesterday, had a lot of meetings. But it's unclear from all the people, some of the people who were in some of those meetings said they didn't necessarily feel like they were really heard. There was a glibness coming from, the representatives of the White House that like, hey, we're here, we're doing what we want, just sort of like fall in line. Not really a willingness to hear some of the concerns from the Hill about, look, we're taking a lot of incoming on, the phone lines being jammed. We're having to defend your nominees. What are you doing to help us? And they sort of said, well, don't worry about it, because real people don't care. So I think there's just, there's some strains that are going to come as we go forward, as the new Congress tries to tackle health care and tax reform. Working with a White House that sort of, shoots first and aims second is going to provide some headaches and consternation for people, for Republicans, especially on the Hill. And I think that is going to strain at that relationship and really test how long that honeymoon phase lasts.
Eli Stokols, thank you for joining us, Eli.
Of course, good to see you guys.